Hey, welcome back. And in today's video, we're going to be talking about a micro-influencer by the name of Bianca Devins and the tragic circumstances surrounding that. And it raises some issues to do with internet culture that we're going to talk about, but I want to give you a trigger warning. It does include talk of self-harm. If you're unfamiliar with who Bianca Devins is, Bianca Devins was a 17-year-old girl who had just graduated high school in June. She was very excited to attend her local community college where she was going to major in psychology this fall. She was known online as a popular e-girl. For those of you unfamiliar with what an e-girl is a young woman who uses social platforms like TikTok, Instagram, and Tumblr to post about anime, video games, and emo-adjacent fashion. She also had an Instagram, and at the time of the incident, she had almost 7,000 followers, and due to massive outpouring of support for her and her family, it is now over 152,000 followers. I'm going to put the link to her account in the description below. I want to go ahead and say, be careful of fake accounts. This seems like for whatever reason, there's a lot of this going around, a lot of people trying to profit off of the tragedy surrounding what has happened. To understand what happened, we need to talk about the person responsible. Now, we're not going to say his name or reveal his identity, as I don't want to put any glorification to the crime. I don't want to encourage copycats. I want to send the message that this type of behavior will not put a spot in history for you, but rather will make you be forgotten. And I believe by not identifying the perpetrators that are responsible for these heinous and monstrous crimes, we can build towards making social media a little bit safer for people that would want to exploit this in such a tremendous and tragic way. Now, the person responsible had an Instagram as well, with just 2,839 followers, very insignificant, low amount. And I do believe that the crime was to initiate attention towards building his online following. Instagram did take action to delete and remove his profile after these horrible things took place. Now, they met on Instagram and used Instagram as their primary form of communication. They had met a few times in person and knew each other's families. Now, it was on Saturday, July 13th at approximately 7:30 p.m. that the couple met at a Nicole Dalanganger concert. Sorry if I mispronounced that. And where an argument ensued. Now, investigators alleged that Bianca had kissed another boy at the concert, upsetting the suspect. Then they left. Sometime during the early morning hours of Sunday, July 14, 2019, the two arrived back in Utica and proceeded to a random street. No one knows why they turned down the street, but it was called Post Street. The investigations revealed that the argument progressed until the male produced a large black-handled knife and used this to inflict the injuries that caused her passing. Now, during the time after the death, it is believed that he took pictures and distributed those on the Discord social media platform and 4chan as well as Instagram. In a statement to Rolling Stone, Instagram initially said it has taken steps to prevent others from re-uploading the content posted to that account to Instagram by utilizing technology to flag the images in advance of others sharing them. The male in question called 911 himself and made incriminating statements with respect to the homicide. He was also alluding to the fact that he was going to harm himself. After determining that the calls were originating from Post Street in the city of Utica, officers were dispatched to that location. They located a black SUV with a male laying on the ground beside it. The officers approached this male and almost immediately he began to stab himself in the neck with a knife. The officer requested emergency medical care and the Utica Fire Department arrived soon after. Now, after attempting to harm himself, he then laid down across a green tarp. Officers immediately noticed brown hair protruding from the tarp as he took out his phone and proceeded to take selfies. Other officers arrived within moments and together they engaged the male. They were able to disarm the male and after a brief struggle they took him into custody. He was then transported to the hospital where he underwent emergency surgery. His injuries were very severe, but he did survive. The actions of this despicable human being were monstrous, but what disturbs me is what happened after. When these photographs started going around, people were using them for clout, using them to gain attention, subscribers, followers on their various social media platforms, using a young girl's passing as a form of gain. And I seen this a lot. People were sharing these photos to me, to other people. Even Nicole Dalanganger had to make a tweet saying, "Rip Bianca, what happened to this beautiful angel was evil, cruel, and senseless. I am so heartbroken for her and all her loved ones. While I know some of you are very well intentioned, I ask that you please stop sharing the horrific content her murderer distributed. Please stop sending them to me. My deepest condolences to Bianca's family and friends." Now, if you haven't been keeping up, Nicole is the singer at the concert that Bianca and the suspect attended. As you can see, there were people saying, "I got the video on my story. It's gruesome. Just follow me to see it." And repetitively doing this type of stuff. I even seen one where they had a copycat of her Instagram. And when I was looking for her Instagram, and this account had already garnered around 30,000 followers, and then when I went to the link that it provided, it was just a SoundCloud rapper trying to promote his music. And this is it's disgusting, this type of behavior. I think it points to a deep-rooted issue that needs more attention to it. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Now, the County District Attorney Scott said that the prosecuting office will most likely treat this as a case of extreme emotional disturbance. They're saying that the suspect did not plan the killing. However, as we will see, I feel like this was definitely premeditated. But they're wanting to try to do this because he was charged formally with second-degree murder. And if it is seen as this extreme emotional disturbance because they're saying that Bianca went and kissed another person at the concert, they can drop the second-degree murder charge down to manslaughter first degree. But I want to show you something. While they were on the drive back home, he was posting things on his Instagram account. One being, "This is your life and it's ending 1 minute at a time." It's a clip from Fight Club. Now, I do want to go ahead and say that this is intended to be a motivational sentence to saying that death can happen at any time, so you need to do what you feel like you need to do for life, for progress, to do your dreams. For him to use it as a way to taunt his victim on the way to where he finally laid her to rest it makes me sick to my stomach. The next post, he said, "Here comes hell, it's redemption time, right?" So you can see that he knew full and well what he was going to do. I mean, this is your life and it's ending 1 minute at a time points to that. He spray painted "May you never forget me" where her body was. Now you gotta tell me, after seeing this, that this wasn't planned, this wasn't premeditated. This sick individual knew exactly what he was doing. Now, another thing I want to point out is when he first logged into Discord to post the photographs, he said, "Sorry fuckers, you're going to have to find somebody else to orbit." Now, if you guys are unfamiliar, a beta orbiter is by definition a low value man who is too insecure to be able to get his own woman, so he stays around attractive women as friends, and he's constantly stuck in the friend zone. He also said to remember to subscribe to PewDiePie, which is just disgusting that he would even say PewDiePie's name to do with this situation. Big issues that this raises is with internet culture and social media. As we can see, we live in a whole new generation, and it's spawning new generations of different types of killers. Most of these tied in with the memes of internet culture. And I think that it's horrible that this is happening because social media in general tends to glorify these crimes, tends to push to the forefront so people can see, and I feel like they see it as a way, much like in the old days you seen with murderers like Ted Bundy, when the news would push these horrendous crimes in front of your eyes. Since we live in this new generation where it's the internet, I feel like this is the new manifestation of that type of behavior. And I believe one of the biggest ways to stop this is that when these situations do happen, we do not talk about the individuals. We do not identify the individuals. I feel like this is the biggest way to stop that. And then in turn, another issue is the fact that when these tragedies happen, there are a whole slew of people that want to profit off these gruesome crimes. And they're part of the problem. If you take those pictures, if you take the identities and you put them out there as gain to get yourself subscribers and followers, number one, you're not going to be looked at as a serious influencer. It's just not going to happen. So it's null and void. You're not going to get what you intended anyways. No one is going to respect you. Number two, it's extremely disrespectful to the friends and families of the victims. The last thing I'm going to talk about is there's a whole website that talks about this. It's got statements from the family. Our family is devastated by the loss of our beautiful angel Bianca. Our lives are now forever changed. Our hearts are broken. My heart is completely shattered. Having lost my best friend, we will always remember her beautiful smile that lit up our lives. Her spirit will strengthen us and live on forever. Now, if you guys do want to support this, there is a Bianca Michelle Devin Scholarship Fund. I'm going to put the link to that in the description below. I'll also pin it in the comment. And this is the best way that you can help, because there are so many people that are trying to profit off this. There are fake accounts out there, fake fundraisers, but this right here is a way to find the real supporting websites. So it's a horrible thing that's happened, and this is actually the second. I feel like the second story of this year that it bears very strong resemblances. If you guys remember Yukitaka Oka, who also was intrinsic with internet culture, the real life yandere. I feel like, as much as I hate to say it, we're probably going to see more of this, but remember, we don't glorify this, don't encourage this, and I feel like we can stop this type of emergence, this type of behavior. Final statement from the family Bianca was on July 15th, 2019. It says, "We are very grateful for the outpouring of love and sympathy we have received from our friends, family, Bianca's friends, and the whole community. Your prayers help to strengthen us through a difficult time." Now, I do want to say that we need to continue to report any pictures of the crime if you see them rotating around. Other than that, and as interesting as it is, there's always something that's more interesting to me. That's right, you guessed it. I want to know what you think. So why don't you go ahead and leave your creative and or interesting responses in the comment box below. Thumbs up for those likes, and as always, brothers and sisters, I will see you in the next video. I hate to hear this stuff, man. It's a horrible thing, but as I've said before, our voice is the most powerful thing, and their sacrifices will not go in vain. We will learn from these things. We will help to save and protect other people as much as that we can. And I know that you rep if you're repping your Greg. And how to do that, all you gotta do is subscribe, notifications turn on, be in the comment section every single video, because I'm gonna be there. Greg the cat is gonna be there, and the rest of the Red Swap community as well. And I expect to see that too, because this channel loves you. Greg! You want some pizza?